Well, Kanye West keeps evolving, or appearing to anyway. For years, West has been one of the most popular musicians in this country. Then last year, you remember, he went to the White House and became an unlikely political pundit, kind of pro-Trump, actually. Now he appears to have become a Christian evangelist. This fall, Kanye West released a Christian album called Jesus is Lord. Then this Sunday, yesterday, he appeared before 14,000 people at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church.
I brought this Muhammad Ali type of I, me personality, which Nebuchadnezzar also had when he said, look at all this. And God said, oh, for real? And had him out there in the fields for 7 years. He went crazy. And when he gave it back to God, God gave him his mind back. And I feel very akin to that. Now, the greatest artist that God has ever created is now working for him.
So what to make of all this? Well, Bob Woodson is the founder of the Woodson Center and a frequent guest on this show. We're always happy to have him, particularly tonight. Mr. Woodson, thanks so much for coming on.
Pleased to be here.
Simple question. What do you make of this?
I think someone said that God doesn't always use the capable. He uses those who are called, and he makes them capable.
Yes.
And I think that's the case with Kanye West. Kanye is a broken person. He acknowledges the mistakes in his life, the missteps. But as a consequence, he's come to Christ. And Christ, and if you look at the Bible, it's just replete with people who are broken. But he uses them as witnesses to others that transformation and redemption are possible. And that's why young blacks are flocking to him in droves. Several young blacks at that service said they had never been in a church before until they heard Kanye West. And so I think he has a very important role to play in challenging the race grievance industry that is wreaking havoc in the black community.
Yes.
And he's calling blacks to be self-responsible, to, as Dr. King said, to reach down into your soul and sign your own Emancipation Proclamation and not wait for white people to liberate you. And so his message is really resonating well in the community. And like I said, it's a breath of fresh air for those of us who've been preaching for decades that the salvation of black America has to come internally and not externally.
So you said he made a mistake. We made a mistake in calling his album Jesus is Lord, Jesus is King, of course. But this Christian evangelism, you think is sincere, bottom line, in his case?
Yeah, I think it's sincere, but who questions anyone's motivation? I'm more concerned about the actions that someone takes, not what their motivation is. I mean, there are a lot of people who profess to be Christians, and they're horrible.
No, it's a very smart point.
You know,
and what you care about, I think, is the New Testament says the fruits.
Exactly. Also, I believe if you look in the Bible, Saul was one time an assassin of his own people.
Yes. And
then he had a Damascus experience, and he became Paul. But suppose every time he was speaking, they said, "Oh, I know you used to be Saul."
Yeah.
So we have to accept Kanye as he is. And the very fact that the young people in the inner city who know a phony when they see it are flocking to him because there's such a thirst for a redemptive spirit and a redemptive witness. And Kanye he admits to being in an institution for mental problems. He acknowledged all of his brokenness.
He doesn't hide anything.
He doesn't hide anything.
That is compelling. Mr. Woodson, thank you so much. Bob Woodson joining us tonight.
And thank you, Tucker.